Rotablator or rotational atherectomy system is a specialized tool used to drill through heavy calcium deposits within coronary arteries. While a standard angioplasty uses a balloon to stretch an artery, that often isn't enough when the plaque is as hard as a bone, that is heavily calcified. That's where this system comes in. A brief review of 3 important clinical trials, including one comparing rotablator with other modalities like intravascular lithotripsy and excimer laser coronary angioplasty follows. Rotablator device consists of a tiny olive-shaped burr coated with diamond chips. It is threaded into the artery over a specialized guide wire, the rotawire. The burr spins at incredibly high speeds, typically between 140,000 and 190,000 revolutions per minute. This is the magic of rotablator, that is differential cutting. It uses a principle called differential cutting, which means it grinds away hard, calcified, inelastic material, while the healthy, elastic arterial wall simply deflects out of the way. The calcium is pulverized into millions of tiny particles, smaller than red blood cells, which then pass harmlessly through the capillary bed and are filtered by the body. Rotablation is primarily used for complex, heavily calcified lesions where a standard balloon cannot be fully expanded, that is, undilatable lesions. The blockage is too hard for a stent to be properly deployed or apposed against the vessel. Good stent apposition is very important to prevent late restenosis as well as stent thrombosis. Key components of the rotablator system include advancer, the handpiece used by the cardiologist to move the spinning burr forward and backward. Console controls the RPMs and monitors the drop in speed during ablation. When the burr is stuck, the speed will drop. Compressed gas, nitrogen or dry air which meets certain specifications, is used to drive the turbine that spins the burr. Rotaflush, a cocktail of saline, heparin and vasodilators like nitroglycerin or verapamil, used to lubricate the burr and prevent vasospasm. While highly effective, rotablation carries specific risks compared to standard PCI. Slow flow or no reflow. If too many microparticles are released too quickly, they can temporarily clog the distal capillaries. Vessel perforation is a rare but serious risk if the burr exceeds the vessel lumen. Heat generation. High-speed spinning generates heat, which is why short runs of 15 to 20 seconds and constant irrigation are vital. Prepare Calc is probably the most significant modern trial of rotablator. It compared upfront rotablation against modified balloons, that is cutting or scoring balloons, before biodegradable polymer sirolimus eluting stent was implanted. 5-year outcome was published in 2024. Study had 200 patients with 1:1 randomization. Rotablation was superior in achieving strategy success, that is successful stent delivery and expansion, compared to modified balloons, particularly for longer calcified lesions. Modified balloons, that is cutting or scoring, may be better for shorter lesions. One limitation mentioned is that scoring rather than cutting balloons were used in most cases in the modified balloon group. At 5 years, rotablation showed a significant reduction in target lesion revascularization compared to modified balloons in patients with severely calcified coronary lesions. RotaCut randomized trial investigated whether combining rotablation with a cutting balloon is better than rotablation with a standard non-compliant balloon. Minimum stent area on intravascular ultrasound was similar between the two groups. The study had 60 patients with coronary artery disease who underwent PCI for moderately or severely calcified lesions with drug-eluting stent implantation. The procedure was safe with rare procedural complications and few clinical adverse events at 30 days. Rollercoaster EPIC 22 trial compared rotational atherectomy, excimer laser coronary angioplasty, and intravascular lithotripsy for the treatment of patients with moderate to severe calcified coronary stenosis. The primary endpoint assessed was the percentage of stent expansion by optical coherence tomography (OCT). There were 57 patients in each arm of the study. Intravascular lithotripsy was non-inferior to rotablation in terms of stent expansion. Excimer laser coronary angioplasty did not reach this non-inferiority level compared to rotablation. Minimum stent area, procedural success rate, and complications were similar between the three arms.